I want to bring in Bishop William Barber. He is the co-chair of the Poor People's Campaign and president of the group Repairers of the Breach. Reverend, I want to get your reaction to the president's senior advisor and son-in-law, Jared Kushner's comments about Black Americans, where he said he, meaning the president, can't want them to be successful more than they want to be successful.
Well, you know, Jared Kushner, and like his father-in-law, he likes to throw out these comments, and we get caught up in the comments. We know the comments have a racial overtone, but let's look at the truth. President Trump has cut money for public education. That I tried to undermine. That does not help African Americans, nor does it help white people, for that matter. He has blocked passing living wages. Him and McConnell. That doesn't help African Americans or poor white people. If we had a $15 living wage, we could raise 49 million people out of poverty immediately. He has suppressed the vote and fought against voting rights. He has not pushed for the restoration of the Voting Rights Act that's allowed states to pass voter suppression laws. He's trying to take health care. He has undermined health care and wants to take it, which would hurt and devastate the Black community that already has health disparity. So the preacher you had on and Jared Kushner that you had on, they're just talking an illusion. Now, it's not new. There were Black preachers that were against Martin Luther King. There were some Blacks that wanted to stay in slavery. I mean, this is not new stuff. What we have to do is just look at the policies, and the record is clear that we have millions of people unemployed, millions of people facing eviction. That this COVID is hurting Black people and poor Black people more because of his inept response to COVID. So point by point by point, policy by policy by policy, his policies hurt African Americans. But here's the other thing people should know. A racist is also a thief. My grandmama said, you scratch a liar, you'll find a thief. Racism is a lie. He's a liar. And his policies are not just hurting Black people, it's hurting poor and low-income white people and brown people and indigenous people. It's hurting America.
Well, then let's talk about a new policy. The Trump administration wants to block states from giving billions in food stamps to low-income Americans. You work with people on the ground day in and day out who are living on food stamps. What would this do to them?
Well, first of all, that's a form of political wickedness and evil. Let's get clear now. There are 140 million poor and low-wealth people before COVID. 66 million of them were white, 31%. 26 million or so were Black, 61% of Black people. So first of all, the policies hurt poor people and low-wealth people across the board, including the new poor, the people we see in line. It has a disproportionate impact in the Black community, but in raw numbers, it's going to hurt more white people. We've had 8 million people fall into poverty since May. Through September, that's like 53,000 people a day going into poverty. This policy is deadly, and it will hurt people. And think about what he's willing to do. They're willing to defend and put one woman on the court, but not protect thousands of people from being in a casket. That's the kind of policy that we're seeing out of this administration, and it is deadly, which is why poor and low-wealth people must vote. 64 million poor and low-wealth people in this country can vote. 29 million voted last time. 34 million did not vote last time. We cannot have that anymore. And what it shows, lastly, Stephanie, is that Trumpism is not, again, just about racism. Trumpism will steal your health care. It will steal your food. It will steal your wages. And if you're not careful, it will steal your life, which is why we have to vote for our lives in this moment.
Dr. Barber, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate your time. Coming up next, let's go to